Hey guys, before we get into this video, I just want to remind you to check out my book Powerless, Book 1 Potential and Powerless Book 2 Imagination, on sale now at Amazon.com, or you can message me, Powerless by BR, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and have a signed copy shipped out to you. Thank you, and please enjoy the video. What's up guys, Brandon Rouse, Powerless by BR, and today I'll be doing my top 10 favorite movies of 2018. Before I begin, let me state again, these are my top 10 favorite movies of 2018. Which means it's my opinion. If something you like isn't on the list, then go make a video and do your own on your page. But these are mine. These movies will be in no particular order, because I love them all. The only ones that will be in any particular order, I guess, will be number 1 and number 10. My favorite of the year, and then my, the lesser of all evils at number 10, So, with no further ado, let's begin. Number 10, Tag. I know what y'all thinking. Alright, I wanted to hate this movie. I really did. I saw this movie on a whim with some friends. But at the end of the movie, it really made me love how me and my friends interact. The way the cast interacted, like their energy playing off each other was fantastic. And I usually don't like movies like this. Like, I'm not a Hangover fan, but I love this. And I guess because it's based on a true story that I actually felt it, and it was just fun and a good spirited movie. Good spirited movie. I didn't feel like it was too much at any point in time. The ending scene where they were in the hospital, spoiler alert. There will be spoilers throughout this video, by the way. So if you don't want to see spoilers, when I bring up a movie, just cut it off. The ending hospital scene. I love scenes like that in movies, where it's just a good time at the end. Not to say every movie needs a happy ending, but this was very well seen. And Jeremy Renner. I know he plays Hawkeye in the Marvel movies. I thought, when someone plays a role for so long, you start seeing them as just that person. I didn't see him as Hawkeye in this movie, and that surprised me. He's a really good actor. Of course, he had that Hawkeye feel to him, but I wasn't sitting there watching, oh, this is just him being Hawkeye in another movie. And all the whole cast was extremely good, especially the wife. Oh my gosh, she was a ride or die. That chick. She was ride or die, down for whatever. Next movie is Upgrade. If you haven't seen it, see it. It is amazing. The action in this movie was so well executed and choreographed. And the way it was done, you kind of knew halfway through the movie what was going to happen, kind of. But you didn't care. You wanted to see how they executed it. And I love movies like that. The main character, his acting, he reminded me a lot of the guy that plays Venom, but Venom and Bane. But he did his own thing in the computer program. The voice of that guy was just so docile and just relaxing. It was always an eerie vibe from the AI when it was talking. And everybody played a role in this movie. But those two were definitely playing off each other. Next up, Bleach, the live action movie. Now, Japan always gives us the best live action movies when compared to America. because at least Japan actually just takes the story, and even if they have to condense it down, they give you the characters that look like the characters. You know, they don't try to mess up any names. They don't try to give it their spin. You know, it's just the story taken from the manga or anime and done in live action. And that is all we want. Well, I, personally, that's all I ever want. You know? And the casting was just perfect. And I didn't miss Cone at all. You know, I know he wasn't in the movie, but I didn't miss him. I really didn't. You know, they gave us everybody else. You know, Byakuya was beastly. Renji, I don't even like Renji, but Renji was great in there, and Ruki and Ichigo, perfect casting. I'm sorry, they couldn't have been done any better than that. And that was amazing. Like, just action, the way they followed the story. Like I said, it didn't need Cone. The way they followed the story and everything, adapted it from the manga, was seamless for me. And the only reason I say Bleach and not Fullmetal Alchemist movie is because this is where I love Bleach more than Fullmetal Alchemist. You know, not so much the last arc, because it was kind of rushed. It was rushed. But I invested more of my time in Bleach. Kazeshimi. You know, I invested more of it into Bleach because it was just amazing when I saw it. You know, I'm a fan, I collect swords. So to see all the different Zanpakutos and Shikais and Bankais, I was done. Next, Dragon Ball Super Broly. Surprisingly, I liked it. And not because it was a Dragon Ball Z movie. I love Dragon Ball Z movies. I never liked Broly. I never saw the big appeal with Broly, you know? When it come to movie villains, I was always a Cooler, Android 13, even Turles fan, you know? But Broly just didn't make any sense to me. So this retcon of him was definitely much needed, and it was masterfully done. The action in this movie was nothing like I expected it to be. Like, the way they did the 3D and the 2D, seamless. Like, I would sit and just rewatch this movie just for the action scenes over and over and over again. And the way they did the story, I thought they spoiled a lot of stuff in the trailer, but no, they finessed us. Like, it was amazing. The story was just Broly getting his ass beat and getting stronger and more pissed off and just getting stronger than them, like catching up to them as they went up a level. He reached that level and then went above it. And then when they went up another level, it just kept going like that. And it was just beautiful to see. And I just can't wait. Because I know for the last two movies they did, they expanded on it in the Dragon Ball Super anime. And I know it's going to be kind of a mix because they have a new manga with a new villain, like a Planet Eater. And I just want to know how they're going to do it. I hope they don't skip over Broly. I hope they actually, do Broly in Super and expand on it more like they did with Battle of the Gods and Return of Frieza. Because my boy Vegeta finally got his shine. Like, Goku got played hard. And I think Vegeta only took a couple hits. I mean, even in the first Broly movie, he took that one big hit into the crater, but at least he did something this time. At least he was rocking with him, Next up, of course, if you know me, I'm a big fan of Queen. And Bohemian Rhapsody, I was waiting on this movie when I first saw the trailer. I usually love musical biographies, Ray, the James Brown, Get On Up. I love those movies. The Tina Turner, what's love got to do with it? Come on. And this one was no different. Rami Malek embodied, I hope I said his name right, Rami Malek, he embodied Freddie Mercury, because I won't, it wasn't really. It was kind of before my time, but still, I loved seeing the story play out, seeing the things he had to deal with, the coming to terms with his sexual orientation, dealing with backlash from friends, his manager, people around him, and still wanting to just entertain people, through it all, through getting sick, uh, AIDS and everything. All he wanted to do was entertain people. He had a gift he wanted to share with the world, and he had a group of people with him that just stuck with him, stuck through it. And that's this movie. I wasn't expecting to get as sad or as emotional as I did, but I really did. I got to a point where I was like, man, in the theater. And the funny thing about the theater in this movie, in the theater, whenever the song started, everyone in the theater started singing, including me. It was a karaoke. This movie excited everybody, like especially Bohemian Rhapsody. I didn't know anybody sitting to the left or right of me. I don't think anybody knew each other, but we were friends that day. We were bandmates because we sang every single syllable of every word of every song, and it was amazing. At the end of it, it wasn't sad. It ended like most biographies do, telling a little bit of what happened, led up to the death or whatever. But it was just a happy time still, and they brought us that joy. Next up, Black Klansman. Great black film. Usually, movies like this try to beat you over the head with racism and stuff like that, but even though it was like almost every other scene, I didn't feel like it was beating me over the head with it. It was nicely done, It was the time period, and they eased into it, It was hilarious, especially with the social issues they discussed. And it showed great contrast between the two main characters that I feel, the Jewish guy and the black guy. How their struggles are completely different, but working towards one singular goal. It was just seeing both sides of the gate, And the actors were amazing, It wasn't too much, I'll say, and it was hilarious. I laughed at this movie harder than I expected to. Like, I'm talking Black Dynamite funny. I didn't expect to like Black Dynamite when it came out, but I laughed so hard at that movie just like I did this one, and I loved it. This is a movie I definitely, and I don't even buy DVDs like that. This is a movie I'm definitely going to have to get and keep in my collection. Creed 2 is the next movie, and I usually don't like boxing movies, man. Like, I've never seen a Rocky movie. I went back and watched the Rocky movies because I saw Creed 1. Sorry, 1. And then I saw Creed 2, and it was... I love the way Michael B. Jordan and Sylvester Stallone's characters played off one another. Even in real life, they have such great chemistry in real life that it transferred on into the movie. And you saw that, there was never a point in Creed 1 or 2 where I was bored, where I wasn't, invested, just watching. It was always something happening, something with the family, something with his relationship, with his girlfriend, mother, the Ivan Draco, and his son, or Sly. And it was just well executed, It was definitely a movie that just made you think, For me, I don't know if anybody else did this as an anime fan. When Ivan and his son and Sly and Adonis were all together, I saw Vegeta and Trunks and Goku and Goten at the martial arts tournament where they were just watching their kids fight, and Vegeta was just like living through Trunks to beat Goten, who he was substituting for Goku. And I saw that same dynamic in this movie with those two groups. But it was really good. It was really good, man. Definitely Michael B. Jordan's great actor. Will Smith of this generation has to be. I'm claiming that, man. And I hate comparing people to people, but at that level, there's nobody really I should compare him to. Denzel, Will Smith is the Denzel of his generation. You know, I can't compare him to Denzel. That's too far back, you know? Ladies and gentlemen, next up, sorry to bother you. This movie was everything I needed it to be. When I first heard about this movie, it was all I was talking about. It was all I was thinking about. Because I needed a good, just black movie, you know? And I know I usually talk about I hate white and black movies and stuff like that, but this was just, I needed this, man. You know, it wasn't too, I guess I'll say, hoodish, you know? It was a movie that anybody could agree with, you know, relate to. Almost anybody, especially people I know. And Lakeith Stanfield and Tessa Thomas, their interaction was beautiful. Lakeith was hilarious, you know, and I usually like anything with him in it. You know, like I watch Atlanta, and he's hilarious on that. Like every word, every sentence out of his mouth has me cracking up. And that's it. He's funny no matter what he says. And in this movie, he was just the same way, you know, his awkwardness. I don't know if that's just really who he is, if he was just playing himself, but his awkwardness and mentality with dealing with things was just, I felt like it was me, you know, because I've been there before, you know, putting cents on gas, you know, working your way up the ladder, trying to decide if you want to keep going or if you want to just stay where you're at. And Tessa, I loved her, especially in from Dear White People, the movie, not the series. That's somebody different in the series, but in the actual movie, she was good in that. And in this, it's the same way. She's more outspoken, you know, rebellious. And seeing her, their two personalities always, like, clashed. But they still had love for each other, and it was beautiful to see. And the movie really threw me for a loop a lot. Like, just when I think I know what's going to happen, and trust me, there's not one person, I don't know why I keep doing it, there's not one person on this planet that can watch a trailer for this movie and say the ending. Not one person. Halfway through the movie, you may be able to tell what happens from the beginning to the middle. But from the middle to the end, forget about it. You're BSing me. You cheated. There's no way you know what's gonna happen in this movie. And for that, I love it, and it earns a spot on my list. Okay, number 2 on my list. The one, the only, Aquaman. Waited for this movie for the entire year. Blew my mind. Because as you all know, I am all day, every day. And Jason Momoa sealed it. Like, I didn't think he could act that good. Not to say he couldn't. It's just that I didn't expect his range as an actor to be, like, that good. Like, I expected it to be a good movie because I was going to like it regardless because I'm a DC fanboy. But it was otherworldly. Like, I forgot his real name half the movie. Like, he was Aquaman. But he was still Jason Momoa in parts. He added his, of course, blend to it. And then the other cast, everybody in this movie carried their own weight. There was not one person. Of course, Jason Momoa was the lead, so his work overshadowed a lot of people, but everybody in this movie carried their own weight. Jason, Amber Heard, William Dafoe. William Dafoe was amazing. Patrick Wilson, fucking Dolph Lundgren was in it, and my boy, I'm gonna try to pronounce his name correctly, Yahya Abdul Mateen II, Black Manta. This man went in. If you guys watch The Get Down, he was Cadillac, and he was pretty good in that. You know, I like The Get Down. Season 1. Season 2 was Season 1 was amazing. But I had high hopes for Black Manta, because Black Manta was one of my favorite DC villains, man. Like, I remember watching it as a kid and just seeing Black Manta, and the first couple times I saw him, I was like, him. I rock with him. And he did not disappoint at all. Seeing Black Manta live action, seeing all these characters live action, because Mera has always been a beast. Like, she's always been like the second hand to Aquaman. You know, in the comics. You know, Ocean Master, Patrick Wilson as Ocean Master was phenomenal. Like, I always hated Ocean Master in the comics, but I didn't hate him in this movie. Like, he was evil, of course, but it was like, I kind of get it. Like, I kind of get it. You know, he was good. He was diabolical, insidious, and just out for what he wanted. He had one clear goal. No one stood in his way. And if they did, he went through them. And that was it. The movie was amazing. The effects, everything underwater. I was always wondering how the talking and stuff would do underwater. Because even when they did it in Justice League, you know, Mera made an air gap, you know, for them to talk. So I was like, is that going to be how they do in the movie? But no, they were talking underwater and everything was the effects of the movie, water in this movie, forget about it. Literally best superhero movie of the year to me, in my opinion. Loved it. Was not bored at any point during this movie. And we've reached the number 1 spot, but before we do that, I have a couple of honorable mentions that I want to get out there. You know, I'm just going to show them on the screen. I'm not going to really talk about them. These movies, if you haven't seen them this year, please check them out. They are well worth the time spent. And they're amazing movies. I thought they were good. I thought they were worth seeing, or at least getting in your collection. And wipe them off. Now for the number 1 spot. The best movie, in my opinion, of 2018. I cannot tell how much I loved this movie when I saw it. John Krasinski and Emily Blunt. Holy shit. The fact that they're husband and wife shows in this movie. They got paid to be themselves in a post-apocalyptic world. That's it. That's all they were doing, was just playing themselves. Because I believe that is exactly what they would do in that situation. John Krasinski, the man, you know. Dunder Mifflin closed down. Pam probably got eaten by one of the monsters, and he found his wife in this new woman, you know, and they raised a family together, you know, and that's the thing I want to talk about the most: the family. These kids, except for the son, the middle son, smartest kid in the movie. He didn't like making sounds. He was like cautious. He was always afraid. And that's exactly what you're supposed to be in a world like this. The daughter pissed me off. Oh my God, I hated the daughter in this movie. Oh my God. She did everything in her power to get people killed around her. Everything. Everything she did was subconsciously done to get someone she loved killed. I'm just gonna say that. And I appreciate this movie killing the little baby at the beginning of the movie. Not too many movies do that. Not too many movies have the balls to kill kids in movies. The first movie I ever saw where they killed a kid live action was Alien vs. Predator Requiem. And they didn't really show it, but it showed the kid dying. The kid got killed. And I was like, I respect that. I respect you being able to go that far with your commitment to a movie to kill a little kid. In this movie, in the first couple of minutes, snatched. And it was out of sheer, I'm just gonna say, stupidity. I mean, come on. You raise the kid to understand sign language, and yet he still hasn't grasped the fact that you're supposed to be quiet and not make noise. You know, it's sad. He was one Darwin Award from getting wiped off anyway. You know? Yeah, it's sad, but you know, you just had one. Name him the second or whatever his name was, 2. You know? And the monsters. I wasn't creeped out or anything about the monsters. The monsters are very interesting. You know? I think all monsters now kind of have that alien xenomorph Cloverfield type feel to them now. Has anybody else seen that? Where they're walking the long limbs and the body. Because this looked like a Cloverfield. This looked like the monster from Cloverfield a little bit. Except for the face. The face was, of course, covered, but they had the little jaw and the mandible and stuff like that would open up the hair. But, yeah. Other than that, this movie was amazing. Best movie of the year for me. Even over Aquaman. And it's my opinion. You can have your own. But this is my list. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope some of my movies you will check out. Not mine, but my favorite movies. I hope you will check out. And if you've seen them, tell me what you think about them. Talk to me about anything. Movie-wise, whatever. On this list, I've only put on movies that I saw and liked. So, saw or liked. You know, if I haven't seen the movie or I didn't like the movie, it's not on here. Sorry. That's the way life goes. Everyone's entitled to their own opinions. Until then, see you. My next video, I'll be doing my top 10 anticipated movies of 2019. Top 10. So, that's going to be another good one. Until next time, this has been Powerless by BR, Brandon Rouse.